Hey guys, Horror Man back for another review. So today we're going to take a look at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1990 Accessory Set. Now this is made by NECA Toys, and it's part of their ongoing line of movie collectibles from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. So just taking a look at the box here, it's pretty much what we're used to for the line, so it's kind of like the same movie art that we saw in the quarter scale boxes, pretty much like at the bottom of the box. And I love that they went with this image. So you do get the classic Ninja Turtles logo at the top. It just says accessory set at the bottom, and you get a couple of little warnings on the bottom left. And I love the art on this. I mean, this is just pure nostalgia in my opinion, but this is the classic 1990 movie poster, and I love how clear it is since it is such a big box. The resolution on this artwork is just phenomenal, so it's definitely going to be one to keep. And then at the top you do get the logo, same logo as you see on the front, some of the legal stuff on the bottom. And you do get some really cool product photography on the side, so you can see them kind of showcasing some of the accessories. And I love this little picture of Mikey with the panda bear, and of course you get the NECA logo. And then on the other side, you do get the same NECA logo, and then you get this really cute little picture of the baby turtles and the mutagen container. And then on that same side, you also get a cool picture of Raph holding the newspaper, and then the classic Ninja Turtles 1990 logo. Alright, and finally over to the back of the packaging, you can see some of the different product images, showing off a lot of the different accessories that come with the set. You get a cool little read-up of the 1990 movie at the top right, and it just tells you just kind of a little bit about the accessory set, but at the very bottom you get a full list of the contents provided in the set. And then I do like that they, of course, put that picture of the regular NECA movie figures on the bottom right, so that's pretty cool. So this is a pretty exciting set. Let's go ahead and get this out of the packaging. We're going to take a look at the accessories, and then we'll kind of pop the heads off of the old ones, put these new ones on, give you some detailed looks at them, and do some comparisons. So I'm pretty excited for this one. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this out of the box and have a closer look. Alright, so once you cut the tape of the box here, you can just kind of open it from the side, and you do get this very large tray, and all the contents are inside of this plastic tray. So it's pretty elaborate packaging with this tray, but it's really nice because it kind of houses everything inside. So if you do want to kind of take some accessories out and put them back later, you can easily do it since everything has its own little individual compartment. Alright, now this accessory set is a bit of a combination of things. So you do get some stuff that we've never seen before. We also get some things that we've seen in the Ninja Turtles line before, but not at this scale. And then we also have some items that we've seen before, but from other lines not related to Ninja Turtles. So kind of like stuff that they've found a way to reuse for the Ninja Turtles accessory set. So some really cool stuff. Now just starting out with the stuff that we've seen before in the Ninja Turtles line, basically what you're looking at here is the stuff that was in the quarter scale accessory set. So what you have is basically the 4 baby turtles, and those were definitely in the quarter scale set. Now they are a little bit different, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But you also get some other items. So you do get the TCRI, mutagen container, which is accurate to the 1990 movie. You do get the Tall Game Pizza, which is basically Domino's pizza without the rights. You get that pizza box. You get 4 slices of pizza, and then you also get 2 bags of snacks. So you get a bag of chips, and that one is sealed, and then you have a open bag of pork rinds. Just taking a closer look at the food first, I really do like the way these came out. Now with the originals, they were like a Mylar bag, so if you were to pop them, I guess, they would just explode, so it was basically like a real food wrapper. So with these, they went with more of like a harder plastic, so it's actually sculpted. And I really do like the details on them. I mean, you get some really nice details on the back of the bags as well. So pretty cool looking. Now the actual bag of corn chips here is unopened. So that's pretty cool. But the pork rinds actually is opened, so you can see inside of it, and I think that's really cool. Definitely some great attention to details on that. And then for the tile game pizza or Domino's pizza, what I do like is they covered up the Domino's logo, but of course you can still see the E, so it's not quite covered. But it kind of hides the fact that it doesn't say Domino's pizza. You got some like grease stains on the back, which looks really cool. See the different like grease stains inside. I mean, it's so realistic looking. And then you also, of course, have your pizza, which is really small. So you got some good details on there, and of course you could put the pizza in the box if you want. Now, what I think is going to steal the show for most people are going to be these little mini figures, these little baby mutated turtles. These were definitely one of my favorite parts of, like the quarter scale accessory set. And these actually work pretty well. They're not quite as good as a quarter scale accessory set, of course, because they are much, much smaller. But they can hold the pieces of a pizza really well, so you can kind of like stick these guys in the pizza box if you want. But yeah, their hands hold them pretty good. They hold the pizzas better when you put part of the pizza in their mouth. Once it's not in their mouth anymore, it does kind of fall out a little bit. They don't have quite the grip that the quarter scale ones do. But nonetheless, you can still grip on it, and they look really cool. Alright, so taking a look at the baby turtles, they definitely have some cool things about them, but there is some things that you don't get as compared to the quarter scale versions. Now, one thing I'll say is they stand really good. You can see there's nothing behind them, so they are standing just fine. And it can hold larger accessories, like he's holding the mutagen container, no issues. He's not going to fall over. So that's really cool. You can get some cute little poses and pictures out of these guys. Now, the downside about it is that their legs do not move, and that's exactly how the original versions were. So I kind of wish they would have figured that out. And just to give you a quick comparison, I know you can't really see the whole turtle, but you can see just how big this original one is. But just looking over the articulation, you do get a fair amount of articulation with this guy. So if you wanted to, you can move the arms all the way up or all the way down, depending on what you want. And then, sorry I'm doing this off screen, he's so small I don't want my hand to cover it. So you can see his head can turn left, and it could turn right with no issues. But yeah, he just doesn't have the leg articulation, and then he just doesn't have that same jaw articulation that the original quarter scale ones had. I'm definitely really happy with these, and I do like how they kind of fit with like the little pizza box. Alright, and for the last accessory we've already seen from the quarter scale set is basically Mikey's spinning nunchuck. And this is two different pieces that you get, and I'll use the Mikey figure to demonstrate this one. So you do get the interchangeable hand. It kind of looks like a pointing finger, and then you do get the straight up and down nunchuck. Now what's cool about this is you basically have a hole on the tip of the finger, and you put this nunchuck inside of that peg hole. And then once you just give your nunchuck a little spin, you can see it spins pretty good on its own. So yeah, it's just comes off with just a little peg right there, and just goes right into the tip of that finger. Alright, so taking a look at some of the other accessories here, some of them we've kind of seen before in some fashion, but again, not really from Ninja Turtles. And one of them is this TV. And the TV is definitely something that we've seen with the They Live movie line. We've seen it with the Ninja Turtles Loot Crate video game Loot Crate. And we've seen it with Freddy Krueger. So we've seen actually a fair amount of these TVs. So NECA went ahead and used it for the April O'Neil, on TV as well. And it works out great. I mean, it's definitely got that like 80s, late 80s feel to it. Looks like an old Zenith or something. So you got all the different dolls and things like that. And you get a really cool picture of April doing her news reporting. And this is definitely one that we can kind of remember. I believe she's interviewing Chief Stearns during this, and she's got that kind of sarcastic face. So I really like this. And essentially, this is our first April O'Neil, Judith Hogue product from NECA Toys. And there is a hole in the back of the TV just in case you want to mount it like on the wall or on maybe like a background of a diode piece. Now you also get this Sewer Cruise skateboard, which is really cool. And originally I thought this was a reuse of the Marty McFly Back to the Future skateboard, but it's actually different looking. So it is unique in that way. I'm not sure if this was ever used before on a NECA figure, but I can't place it. But it's really cool. It says Sewer Cruise, I guess instead of Santa Cruz. But it's got some really cool color designs to it, very like retro. You got the different colored wheels. And then if you flip it over to the back, you can see the different rivets or whatever, screws, and you can see like the little grip tape going across the top of the board. So that's a pretty cool looking piece. I always kind of wanted some skateboards for my turtles. You get this really cool newspaper, and of course it says "It's Worse" with this headline, and this is what Raphael holds when he's doing his little like Dick Tracy spying on April. So it's a really cool little newspaper here. You could see some different details. It says we're #1 on it. And on the inside, it's just some like pixelated images, but I do admire that it actually has something as opposed to just being plain. Now the next accessory you get is definitely the smallest piece in this set, and you actually get a bottle of turtle wax, which is amazing. I just can't believe they actually got the rights for the turtle wax. So this doesn't say anything weird. This is the actual brand. So that's really cool. And you can even see the little turtle on there. I like the color green on it. It's got the little cap. And there really isn't any details around the back of it or anything. You do get a little bit of sculpted details on the top around the cap. There's actually details on the lid, which is really cool. You can see like the little turtle logo on the top of the lid. I really do love this little teddy bear that you get, and this is April's panda bear that she has in her apartment, which you see Mikey holding during one of the scenes, maybe even more than one of the scenes. And then he's got some really nice textured detail going on, really cool looking. He's got like a flat base to him, so he just sits pretty good just like that. So really good details on that bear, and you can see a little bit of like dry brushing on there, so it doesn't look like perfectly white. Alright, so the next couple accessories you get here, first of all you do get a manhole cover, which is pretty cool, and that kind of goes along with this street sign. So this is the 11th and Bleecker street sign, and this is basically where April lives. So after Splinter tells her the story of the turtles, like their origin story, the turtles walk her back home, and Bleecker street sign is like right there as they come out of the sewer, and of course the manhole cover kind of goes along with it. So you can see it's definitely in scale, really good in scale with Mikey. And if you have like the NECA street scene, this would look really cool, kind of jazz up the street scene a little bit. So very cool that they included that. And it kind of reminds me of the street sign from the Freddy Krueger accessory set, but I don't have that set, so I can't say 100% if it's the same one. So taking a look at a couple of these like hat type accessories, you do have Donnie's like farmer hat, and then you have Shredder's helmet. And looking at Shredder's helmet, this is exactly what you see at the end of the movie when it gets crushed in that part of the trash compactor of the garbage truck, and Casey like hits the button and it just kind of crushes the helmet. So you can kind of see the demise of Shredder's helmet here. It's all like scratched up, chopped up, scraped up, and bent. So it is pretty cool looking. It's not going to be something that you can actually put on top of Shredder's head or anything, but you could definitely hold it for a couple pictures. And we'll talk about that one later. Then you also, of course, get this Farmer Donnie type of hat. So he basically wears this hat when he's practicing at the farmhouse, and you really don't see it much, but it is a cool accessory, and you can see where the knot for that goes on the knot part of the mask, and then here's like the front part of the mask right here where it fits into. So it should fit in pretty good, but I really do like the wear and tear on it. Really good sculpting, good paintwork all around. Alright, so now for the main attraction of this set, the interchangeable head sculpts. And you do get a new head sculpt for each different turtle, which is awesome. So you can see with Raphael, he's got that kind of like happier, smirking type of look. With Leonardo, he looks like he's kind of like talking, which is really cool. You've actually got just a kind of like a neutral sculpt of Mikey, and then you have the kind of laughing face of Donatello. So these look really, really good. And this is honestly the bandana I wanted originally when they made these turtles. I was really surprised they only had them with like one that goes over on the left shoulder, one that goes on the right. These are definitely the bandanas that I feel like match the movie better. So you can kind of account them as also an accessory with this set. Now each one of the turtles does come with a peg inside already, so you will get an extra neck peg. Alright, so here they are with the new interchangeable heads. Now I do want to give you a breakdown of exactly what these different head sculpts are from, and I'm sure people will recognize them immediately and have their own opinions. So I did ask Trevor from NECA just to kind of tell me exactly what these are from, just so I get the right information. Now with the Mikey, it's actually from the scene where they return back to April's apartment, so it's kind of like the sad Mikey. And then for Raph, it's the scene where he's kind of picking his teeth with his sai, so basically during the origin story when they're talking to April. And then for Leonardo, that one wasn't 100%, but he did tell me it was either from a scene where he's kind of smiling in front of a tree, or it's actually kind of a scene or like a picture of Jim Henson and Leo together. So it's one of those scenes. And then for Donatello, it's that famous scene where he's laughing, when Raph first wakes up from, his injuries that he suffered. So he wakes up out of the bathtub, and basically him and April are laughing, and he says it's a Kodak moment. So a really classic scene. Alright, so taking a look at Raphael first, you can see again he's got that smirk going on. You get some really nice detailed lines like in the little cheeks there, but really nice. You can kind of see the teeth creeping through just a little bit. I like the way the eyes look. So yeah, he's got a really cool little smirk going on. I could definitely see him blushing or something. But I really like, again, that bandana. You can see how it's relaxed and on both shoulders. So pretty cool to see Raph with a smile. And the hat that comes with the Raph in disguise does fit on there just fine. So if you want to have the hat on with the smile on the face, you could do just that. And man, he looks really cool like that. So I'm pretty happy with this Raph head sculpt. And then for Leonardo, you can see again really good details. I really like the attention to the work on his like nose or snout area. I feel like Leo, like his nose was definitely different than everybody else's. And I like that they've really defined it on this one. I mean, I feel like the first one, it was defined pretty well. But I feel like this one's even better. But again, I like the little lines that you have in here, kind of showing more expression. Same sculpted details, like with all the different texturing and things like that. But I really like the look of that mouth. I mean, he definitely has that like he looks like he's talking. So I'm definitely huge on that. And again, I mean, I could see him in a scene with like Raph, maybe these two guys like arguing with each other, something like that. Just really, really, it looks great. And I'm sure everybody's going to create some really cool scenes with this expression. And man, as soon as I saw it, I just think of this scene with him arguing with Raph, and I could just see him like calling him a jerk. But yeah, I can't wait to see what other people do with these sculpts. Alright, so taking a look at Donatello, again, this is going to be one I think people are going to be really happy with. You got Donatello just as happy as he could possibly be. I like this expression on him. You could really see the tongue and both rows of teeth. You know, if you remember that first sculpt of Donatello, it was much more toned down. You know, so we get a totally different look for this one. And again, I could see him like joking with Casey Jones, working on that truck or something like that, or maybe laughing during the scene where Raphael wakes up from his slumber, or his, you know, after he took a beating from the foot. So really cool. I definitely like this. You know, again, you got that relaxed bandana. Looks really good. All right, and finally taking a look at the Michelangelo here. Just like Raph, he's the most different in my opinion compared to the original head sculpts. And just to show you a comparison, you can see how happy he was, and then this one's a much more neutral expression. Now you can see just a little bit of the teeth in there, just a tiny bit. So he does have them showing just a little bit. So if you want to do that, like Pizza Dude's got 30 seconds pose, or if you want to do the pose with the nunchucks, or maybe the pose holding the turtle wax, this is definitely going to fit much better with that. And I kind of like that we have a Mikey that doesn't look so crazy. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the happy Mikey, the smiling Mikey, but this definitely fits more for your like battle poses or like your serious version of him. But it looks really, really good, and I'm very happy with this one as well. And again, you got the relaxed bandana, great sculpting details, just overall really nice looking Mikey head sculpt here. And again, this is kind of like from that scene where he's kind of looking up a certain way in that doorway, kind of like talking about how Splinter's missing. And here's Donnie wearing his farmer hat. And it does fit on there pretty good. It mainly just kind of rests on his head. Since it's not fabric, it doesn't like if I tilt the figure upside down, it'll definitely fall off. But it does seem to sit pretty well on the head sculpt. And again, I just, you know, use the knot and the front of the mask like portion. You can see exactly how you're supposed to put it on there. And like I said, it just kind of like rests on his head. And here's Donnie holding the bag of pork rinds, which of course he eats in the movie. And I really do like how you can see inside of that bag. So he holds them pretty good, and you can use several different hands to achieve that. And then if you want to display Mikey with the turtle wax, you can just swap out that left hand with something a little more relaxed. And you can actually use that same pointing finger if you kind of want to replicate that scene. And if you switch out a couple of the hands, he can hold the panda bear just fine as well. Now, as I mentioned earlier in the review, certain accessories will look really good with different facial expressions. So with this new head sculpt and this new nunchuck accessory, it really completes the look for this scene. So I really do like that they kind of emphasize the accessories with these head sculpts. And here's Michelangelo on the skateboard, and you can see the colors look really good with him. The only problem with this skateboard is that you just don't get enough for all the characters. So I'm kind of hoping they throw a couple of these skateboards in as they make some different sets. Maybe even do some red and black, purple and black, and blue and black, just to kind of switch it up a little bit so each figure or each character will have their own unique skateboard. And here's the trench coat Raph holding the It's Worse newspaper. Now, if you follow NECA social media enough, you know that they have been teasing a Rokusaki and Hamato Yoshi like origin set from 1990, just from that clip that we see briefly, just doing the backstory of Splinter. And that figure will have an unhelmeted head from what we've seen in the pictures, just those quick teasers. You could tell that he doesn't have a helmet on. So after that figure releases, hopefully it'll fit on this shredder, and we could do more with this, busted up helmet. Now the shredder itself does feature a removable mask, but it doesn't feature a removable helmet. So this kind of jagged, broken up helmet really can't be worn with the shredder unless you did some kind of custom work or whatever. I wouldn't recommend it, but if you really wanted to, it may be able to be done. But I just put it on the foot soldier just for giggles. Alright, so for the first comparison, here's the turtles with their new head sculpts next to the 1990 shredder and the foot soldier. So you can see they have a much different look now next to these guys. And here they are next to the 1990 Casey Jones figure. And man, I can't wait to get maybe an unmasked Casey and an April O'Neil to display with these guys. And here they are with the 1990 Splinter. And this is the one from the 2-pack that includes these cool little slippers and the additional hands. But yeah, they look awesome with him as well. And even though these aren't based on the Secret of the Ooze, they definitely have some really cool, fun expressions. So if you want to put them with your Secret of the Ooze collection, you could definitely do that. And here they are with Toka, Razar, and the Super Shredder. And man, they look awesome together. I just can't say enough how fun these movie figures really are. And I do want to do a quick comparison of these Raphael head sculpts. So you have the new one that comes with the accessory pack. Then of course you have the regular one that comes with the regular figure and the Raph in disguise. But you also have this kind of odd one out here, and it's definitely an error, like the head was constructed not correctly. They basically like didn't close the mouth enough. But what it kind of gives us is this angrier looking Raphael, which I really like. So essentially there is 3 different versions of Raphael. And I think the only way you got this is from GameStop. That's where I got mine when they did kind of like a restock. And I don't believe that one had the Only at GameStop logo. I think that was when they started to send them out to everybody. But there's definitely some differences in those Raphael head sculpts. Alright, and for what is probably the cutest comparison here of the comparisons, here is the new baby turtle with his little slice of pizza next to the larger quarter scale baby turtle with his slice of pizza. And you can see they are definitely significantly different in size. Alright, and for the final comparison, here they are next to the original Playmates Toys Movie Star Ninja Turtles. And man, I think this is just an awesome comparison. I did a similar picture to this back in 2018 when the original San Diego Comic-Con versions were released, so I just had to do another one for these guys. And it's kind of funny because like these expressions line up really well with these new ones. You got like the crazier mouth for Leo and Raph, and then the closed mouth for Mikey, and then the big expression for Donnie. So they definitely match up really nice. So if you want to kind of have something to complement your Secret of the Ooze vintage turtles, I think these will actually display really well next to each other. Alright, so that's my review of the 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie accessory set by NECA Toys. And I'm definitely very, very happy with this set. When it comes to Ninja Turtles, the 1990 movie is just the top of the mark for me compared to everything. It's just exactly what I hoped for. It's a great combination of like the original cartoon and the Mirage comics, but giving itself this like original feel to it. I just absolutely love it. So having an accessory set to build upon that line that I'm very, very big fan of, it's just awesome, man. And I can't say enough how much I love these head sculpts. I mean, there are definitely some classic scenes that I think all of us would really remember. And these head sculpts just really fit the bill for what we needed for this line. And while I absolutely love these new head sculpts, the accessories definitely really add to everything. So if you're a bigger fan of those older head sculpts, or maybe you want to accessorize those with some of these new accessories, you have that option. And a lot of these will really complement those figures well, especially things like the hat for Donnie, the turtle wax for Michelangelo. And for people that didn't get the San Diego Comic-Con set, you're finally getting some of those accessories that you couldn't get before. But I also like things like this panda bear. I mean, it's a really cool little thing for Michelangelo. I like the different like kind of stains that they've added to it. It looks like maybe she had this thing for a long time and then Michelangelo got to it and just put his, sewer hands all over it to stain it up. So I really do like the detail of that. I love the little detail to the pork rinds that you can see inside of the bag. The April O'Neil TV is a really nice touch. And of course the sewer cruise board. I mean, you need a skateboard with your Ninja Turtles. The baby turtles definitely steal the show for me a little bit. I just think they're awesome. I've been wanting them in this scale. But between them and the head sculpts, that's pretty much where I'm at. They're just my favorite things with the set. My only really gripe about the set is with the skateboard, you only get one. So it's, you know, you got to share one skateboard between four of them. So I kind of wish they gave us maybe two at least. And that's really the only gripe I have. I mean, I'm really happy with the set. I really didn't have any issues like changing the parts or swapping anything out. So yeah, man, I'm pretty happy with this. Now shifting focus back onto the bodies and the new head sculpts again, the only thing I was really fearful of was that the pegs would stay in the body after I popped off the, you know, the old head sculpts and put these new ones on. But I didn't have that issue at all. Like every single one of them, the peg, you know, stayed within the head sculpt. So I didn't have any issues. So yeah, overall, I'm very happy with this set. If you've been collecting the 1990 movie stuff, then you just gotta have this. Now, of course, it was a pre-order only thing, and it was through NECAstore.com. They gave you plenty of time to get it, but if you didn't get it by now, and you're watching this video and you really want one, unfortunately, you're probably gonna have to go on eBay. Now, hopefully, they'll offer this set again down the road. That's kind of what I'm hoping with all this pre-order stuff, like with Toka and Razar. You know, just offer it a second time, since it was just a pre-order thing anyway. But it's a really good set. I really think it's packed in with all the accessories that we were kind of missing from the earlier releases. I absolutely love having different head sculpts, the baby turtles, all of it. It's just a really cool set. So thanks for watching my review. You know, thanks to NECA, and yeah, man, if you can get this one, or if you have yours coming in the mail, you're gonna be very, very happy with these guys. It's really cool. Definitely an essential set for the 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles line. So please subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video if you liked it. Leave a comment or question if you have one. And until next time, guys. See ya.